Hi everyone, it's Arlene here. Today's card is going to be using the Artfully Folded Stamp set. It's kind of a unique fold and I really like it. I first saw this card when I was in a swap that our upline had, and I thought it was really fun. And then I decided to make one of my own, and I found out it's really not that difficult to make. So I wanted to share that with you too. This also is a project that I will be showing how to make in my upcoming Fun Folds class. So if you're in the Reno Sparks, Nevada area, please feel free to check out my website that has my classes and my calendar for the upcoming months ahead. And if you're interested, I'd love to see you there. And we'll be making more than just this folded card as well too. So to get started with this card, you need a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock that's cut in half lengthwise. So this piece of paper here is 11 inches long by 4 1/4 inches wide. This is the Flirty Flamingo. I also have a couple of pieces of paper in the Mango Melody. And then I also have another piece of the same color that is cut, and I will explain that here in a little bit. You'll see why after I make the folds. So I'm going to set these two pieces and this different cut piece aside, and taking my paper trimmer I'm using with the Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to use just the scoring blade. Now what I want to do is I'm going to be scoring it from one corner and then the opposite corner down to the opposite corner with the scoring blade. So I'll just kind of set that into my paper trimmer, and again the lighter gray tool is the scoring blade. Okay, and then we've got, basically it's a rectangle and then it's scored down the middle here, showing two, so it makes two triangle sections, and you're just going to fold on that score line. So you've got, so far it looks like this. And then what you're going to do is you'll want to, let's see, flip it over. Let's fold it this way. Okay, and then I'm just going to go and bring the two edges together like this. And then you really want to give the middle part right here really good crease. So I'm just going to take my bone folder and crease it really well. Now this is the base of the card. So really easy, but it's just a little bit unique, which is what I like. Now you're going to set that aside, take your paper trimmer again, and with these two pieces of paper, now these are let's see, make sure, these are 2 inches by 5.5 inches rectangles. And then what I'm going to be doing is cutting them into two triangles. So from one corner to the opposite corner. So the top left corner down to the bottom right corner, I'll be cutting. Not scoring this time, but actually cutting it. So we'll have two triangles. Okay, there's 1, 2. We'll do the same thing with this other piece of cardstock as well. All right, so you have 4, even though you'll only be actually using 3. Now, what I like to do is actually set these triangles onto the paper so I know which direction they'll be going onto. So do you see how this is going to just be placed right on the top? This is the front of the card, so it's going to be placed on that triangle there that's at the front of the card. And then on the inside, we're going to be placing one right here on the bottom as well. So see how I had to flip it over. So I'm flipping it over so that it fits. And then I also want one triangle here on the left-hand side. So now when you're gluing these down, you want to make sure that where the fold is, where the card folds, that you don't apply extra cardstock to that. So you're going to have a little gap there. And the reason why is it would just get too thick and it would be difficult to close. So like I said, you only need 3 triangles. One you're just going to set aside, you're not going to use. So making sure that you know which side is up. And then we'll fold this over. This is going to be the correct side, is up like this. So the next thing that I want to do is use my Big Shot, and we're going to run this through one of the embossing folders. And I have the swirly little swirls right here. And this is one of Stampin' Up's. And the name escapes me for just a moment, but I'll have it written down below here too for you. Okay, so I'm just going to run it through. I'll place these triangles into the embossing folder. And I will just run them through really quickly through my Big Shot. Okay, so now we have, they're embossed. Fun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this front one to the front of the card with just some snail adhesive. Okay, so it's got like that, and then I'm going to adhere these two as well. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Now, like I said, this is a piece of the cardstock that I've used, and what I actually did is I had made another one, and I just used that as a pattern. What you can do are line up the top and then the right hand side of the base of your card, and then just put that up on the corner. Let's see if you can see this, like say the corner of a piece of cardstock. Let's see if I have one here. Like say like this, and then you would just trace over with pencil. You would just kind of go over it here, and then knowing that you'd have to cut it like that, but just a little bit smaller. And it might take a little bit of, a couple of tries, but then you'll get it. So I have not adhered that down yet because I'm going to be stamping. So let me get my block here. I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now let's put this cardstock in like this just so we can get a good placement here. Alright, so let's take this first stamp. It's the little origami crane. My son, my 10-year-old, loves to make things with origami. So he loves this stamp set, which is why I got it actually. Alright, so we're just going to place that using the black. Let's take another. So they're facing. Alright, and then there is a heart. It's like an origami heart outline. Again, in that black, we'll just put that up there like that. And then we've got, it's like a line stamp, so it looks like it is attached. It's like string that's attached to our birds here. So let's go ahead and put that up there like that. Let's see, run that. One more for the heart. Okay. Now the fun thing about this stamp set is it actually has filler stamps, so that it's kind of like a two-step stamping. So now that we have the outline of this, we can go ahead and fill that in. So this is more of the solid image here. So let's go ahead and use, let's see, I'm going to use, I think this is, what color is this? This is Coastal Cabana. And just going over. Go. Let's see, I'm going to stamp that off and see how that looks. Yeah. Alright, that goes up on top there like that. We'll use the other solid bird here. Oops. Actually, not using Coastal Cabana though. We're going to use a different color. I am going to use the Mango Melody. Alright, so that's just going to be a tone-on-tone color here. These are nice, again, because they're clear, so you can get really good images and fairly good. You know, and remember, if it doesn't turn out just perfect, it's handmade, so that's okay. Alright, and then I'm going to use this Flirty Flamingo for the inside of the heart. Alright, just like that. Got those. Alright, so now I can take and open up this part, and we're going to adhere this portion onto the front of the card in like that little, makes like a little pocket. There we go. So it's folded up like this. Looks like that on the front so far. Now I also have taken, this is part of the same stamp set, and in the Tuxedo Black. Now, because I've done this once already, I would say if you have StazOn or want to emboss in black, I would go ahead and do it. I would use that ink. This one tended to bleed a little bit, but I want to show you this technique too anyway. Okay, so that's one of the stamps. I'm going to take the Mango Melody, and then using our aqua painter, just grab a little bit of the ink from the lid here. And what I did is when this ink was, the ink pad was closed, I squeezed it together. These newer ink pads, you have to squeeze a little bit harder than you did with the classic previous stamp pads, but you can still do it. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit, and you're just going to watercolor. And all around there, and then just continue to do that. And then cut around it, which I've already done. So this is what I have here. And like I said, it did bleed a little bit. Typically I don't have that much of a problem with this Memento Black, but this time I did, but it still turned out cute. And I just cut very, I didn't try to be real exact. I wanted a wider, the white image around. So it was a fairly quick cut. I just fussy cut around there. Okay, so then I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to place it right here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of adhesive on like the bottom half of my stamped image that I've cut. And then I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional and place that up at the top, so that my Stampin' Dimensional is going to be adhered to this part of the card in the front. Okay, like that, because I know it was going to stick up because of the thicknesses of the cardstock, like this. Okay, so that's the inside of the card. Now, I'm sorry, that's the outside of the card. Now the inside, we're just going to take some of the other elements that we have from the stamp set. This is a saying. This is actually the only saying that is in the set itself. And I'm taking the, let's see, I want to do, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is the Shaded Spruce. Now the reason I have that is because on this front, the flowers, the green is the Shaded Spruce as well. So I'm going to carry some of that color across. I'm just going to stamp that right there. Be your own kind of beautiful. I love that saying. All right, I'm going to set that one aside. And then with some of the Coastal Cabana, let's just get some of these just random little star shapes over here. Again over here. And then I think I'll carry on that heart theme and using the Flirty Flamingo with some hearts. And got a smudge, so let's just do that a couple times. Okay, so there you have it. That is the outside of the fun fold, and this is the inside. Now, if you wanted to, you can even, let's just cut a little bit of some Whisper White cardstock, and I'm not really measuring here, this will work about the right size. Now, here's the inside. It's got a little pocket here, so you could actually insert either your own personal note if you wanted to, or it can even be a gift card that you could just slip inside there, and that would fit perfectly. Okay, just like that. So I hope you guys got learned something fun today, something new with this fold. I hope you go out, enjoy, and create, and make something of your own. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.